Chitofhadens here for a quick episode on yet another single focus solution, this time the Focuser 8. And as the name says, it was designed for 8mm scopes such as the Baby Hypergunner and the Aivascope. The Focuser 8 was designed and made by Valdas Misevicius in Lithuania, the same guy that made the Aivascope from last episode. And also this episode is sponsored, I guess, by JSD, because he also sent me this adapter before selling it so I could try it out. So what's the deal with the Focuser 8? Well, it goes in front of your double focus or fixed focus setup, such as the Baby Hypergunner and the Aivascope. And when you focus your taking lens to infinity, your whole thing becomes single focus, with focus just being adjusted on the Focuser 8. This one has 52mm rear threads to connect to the Aivascope, it was designed for it, and 67mm front threads for variable NDs or polarizers or even diopters for stronger close-ups. You name it. It weighs 140 grams, which is next to nothing added to your rig. Focus throw is about 90 degrees, and it ranges from 45 centimeters to infinity. There are no focus marks regarding what distance you're set at, and there are two versions of the Focuser 8. One has focus gears and the other one has not. Doesn't have, like the one that I'm using here. It doesn't extend much while focusing from infinity to minimum focus, which is great. It's roughly 1 centimeter. That means it does not introduce a lot more vignetting when focused close. And the construction feels a little bit flimsy. I have the concern that if I took this to an actual set and rushing with production, I would break this apart. The Focuser 8 was only available through eBay, through the VM Optics user, which is Valdas's user. And it went from $200 to $250, which is pretty cheap considered how easy it makes your life and how expensive other single focus solutions are. It's also tiny, but I haven't seen one listed up for sale in a while, so I don't know how production is being kept. For the sake of image quality comparison, I have it combined with the Aivascope so we can compare it with last week's video. And since the Aivascope is not the sharpest lens around, I paired the Focuser 8 with the Bolex Molar 16/32/1.5 and compared it to the same Bolex paired to a Rectulux Hardcore DNA. At 40mm, you can kind of say they look similar, but as we move on to longer and faster lenses, the Focuser has a harder time keeping up with the Hardcore DNA. The corners are also severely compromised, not only by blur, but also vignetting, which is introduced much earlier. My pairing with the Bolex is a bit unfair due to how large the front glass is on that lens. And the Focuser 8 changed my experience with the Aivascope, allowing me to go much more freestyle without worrying about added vignette. As you can see, this is the Aivascope at 20mm, which has a little bit of vignette. Then with the Focuser 8, still at 28, still vignetting, and as soon as we step to 35, vignetting is gone. So the slim profile helps by not limiting your choices of taking lenses. And this is how it behaves with the Bolex. Without the Focuser 8, the Bolex clears 35mm. But with the Focuser, we're doomed in vignette land. This finishes my coverage for all the aspects of the Focuser 8, and I would love to hear your opinion. Would you go for a tiny single focus solution if you use a baby setup, or would you go for larger glass even at the sacrifice of the portability and size of your rig overall? I think I would stay with the smaller option. Let me know about your choice in the comments below, and before you go, please hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the next videos come up. If this video helped you choose your gear or the gear you should stay away from, please hit the like button and help me grow the channel. And also tell me, how was this video useful in the comments? I'd love to hear your input. I'm Chitofhadens, and I'll see you next week.